you can see I'm not in the UK. Rhonda and I decided to have a few days away. We've come to an island called Ischia, which is off the coast of Naples in Italy. You can see at the minute the weather today hasn't been very good. It isn't very good, it's just spitting with rain. We've had a lot of rain this morning here, but you can see in a minute from these clips we've had some gorgeous weather the last 3 or 4 days. We're only here for 5 days in total, so we're back in a couple of days. But this is the weather we've had, but also it's a bit of an experience when you're walking down the street. So you can see here, I'm walking on the road, yet there's a zebra crossing here in front of me, but there's no pavements. So, not really sure where you walk. So you can see you're just taking your life in your own hands at the minute. And this is quiet. A minute ago we've got lorries and coaches coming through here as well. So you can see they don't... It's just unreal. Look at this. So this is what I'm walking on. Ah, a pavement. Aha, first one. There are a couple of Lincolnshire-based tractor runs happening in June. I'm going to feature one this week and one next week. And the one this week is the Tour de Links Vintage Tractor Run, where there's going to be, I think there's going to be 14 vintage tractors going around the borders of Lincolnshire, about 350 miles in total. And this is raising money for the Links and Knots Ambulance and also Andy's Charity Hospice. Now, the QR code for the hospice is here, so please click on that to donate to that if you'd like to do that. Really worthwhile cause. And it's starting off on June the 4th from Farmer Brown's, which is a farm shop and cafe and dairy in Huttoft in Lincolnshire, and that's where it finishes as well on June the 9th. Various points are going round. I will feature this in the next update as well, but this is just to start to raise awareness of this fantastic run. It's a group of farmers that have been doing it for a number of times, a number of years, have done it in various locations around the country, so they are experienced at this, and it's always with the vintage tractors rather than with the modern tractors that do it. So if you see it travelling around Lincolnshire, please support it. It's for some really worthwhile charities and worthwhile causes. But just to explain first of all about the Capulet beans, we are going to be planting those next week when we're back. Those of you who watch this regularly remember we were going to be using that Amazon precision drill to put them in. The only problem is they could only do it come to us this last week, but because we'd only just cultivated the soil, if you remember I said in last week's video, they get bean seed fly if you put the seed in, if you drill it too near to planting. So if you drill it too near to cultivations, you need to leave the soil to settle. So we're going to be putting them in next week, but Amazon can't come with their machine. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to be putting them in with our Simba drill, but we're going to be shutting off 2 out of every 3 rows. Standard row width on that machine on our Simba drill is 12.5 centimetres, but if we shut 2 rows off and leave the third one drilling all the way along the drill, that means the row width will be about 37 centimetres, which I think is going to be absolutely perfect. We cultivated them with some of the beans with the harrow, and then some of them with the para harrow, as you saw in the other video we've done a week or 2 ago, and it's gone really dry and hard. So we wanted the rain that we've had. We've actually had I think about 19 millimetres of rain the last few days at home, which has done fantastic wonders for that soil. That rain all happened while we're here in Ischia, so I haven't seen the results, but I know what it will be like. It'll have done a lot of good. So next week the drilling will go really well. It's actually also done the sugar beet a lot of good. You remember in last week's update I showed you we were planting the HEATHLAND sugar beet, so that will have done that a lot of good as well, which I'm really pleased that I think it could not have been better for that. Anyway, another thing, you remember a couple of weeks ago I showed you some snippets where I was involved in a sales event promotional video. Bit of a nice fun take of it with Sandy from Farm Stock, who did the video and is doing some work for the sales event. This is that video, and you'll see this is the result of it. Fantastic job Sandy did putting it all together.
He's one of these farming YouTubers, Graham. Oh, he talks a lot of waffle. Swapped his quad track for an 8RX. I'm beginning to think he's a dairy farmer. Oh, here he comes anew. Graham, I'll have to go. I'll speak to you later. Right, Andrew, what have you got for me then, son?
I have here a Maschio Gaspardo 8-metre jumbo power harrow.
8 metres? I've got something for the cabbage patch, thanks.
Perfect for your job. This machine has 6mm thick troughs.
Did you say 6 mil?
64 quick fit blades.
Looks solid enough.
And it will work to a maximum depth of 28 centimetres.
Oh, that's a nice configuration.
And a 3-year warranty.
Oh, there's my back again. So what kind of horsepower do you need for something like this then?
I think you best ask the Maschio sales reps for that. They're coming here now.
You are joking. Who's this kid?
You'll need a minimum of 300 ponies for this, mate.
Mate?
Have you got something big enough to handle it?
Don't insult me.
In that case, you'll be wanting one of these.
I've got a cultivator.
And one of these.
I don't need a plough.
How about a drill?
No.
How about some Cambridge rollers?
No, I don't.
You'll need a set of discs for that quad track.
Hold on a minute, pal. I'm not made of money.
Your trousers will suggest otherwise.
Are you being dosed to cereals?
What, the trousers?
Drop by the Maschio stand and I'll sort you out with a decent red pair.
I'll ditch the trousers if I were you.
Unbelievable. All right, easy. I'll think about it and I'll see you both at cereals. Graham, they hate the trousers. Must be a Lincolnshire thing.
So back to this week's video. What have we got going on? Jim Egan from King's Crops has been with me again this week doing a little bit regarding SFI. We've got an update from him. Also the Guttler harrow that you saw Jeffrey Wocks brought over last week. They've also actually fitted a seeder for us, which is great. We're going to be showing you what we're going to be doing with that. Also, you saw in a video a couple of weeks ago, Bailey People Carrier was going to Leckford Estates. Thank you to David from Leckford who sent me the video of that actually being delivered. And also, if you remember, Cope Seeds had a product relaunch, rebrand as well the other day, and I've got some footage from that as well. Also in this video is a clip from Henry. I haven't been able to see him the last few weeks, and if you remember, he's had a baby 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is fantastic, but I wanted to just ask him for an update on his situation regarding the flooded land. So we've got a 3-minute video from Henry, and you can just see from it there's still a lot of issues there which really need sorting out.
Morning everyone. Andrew's just asked me if I'd give you all a quick update on what's happening here at Short Ferry following the flooding. If you have a look behind me, you can see what we're left with now. So just there, I don't know if you can see that, I might get some pictures, but that is where the riverbank burst and it's been repaired. And then we've had the water all pumped out of the land here now. Just some areas that are still standing some water in the low patches, but it is slowly drying up. I mean, I'm walking on top of the riverbank at the minute because you still drop out of sight walking across that. But I'm left personally here with 200 acres that was planted with winter wheat, winter oilseed rape, some land destined for vining peas, just empty, wet. Yeah, can't get on it with any machinery yet, and as it stands I'm still not eligible for this £25,000 farming recovery fund, which is just ridiculous. I'm still trying to fight that and hopefully we'll get somewhere with it, but as it stands today I'm still not going to get that money, which is it's staggering because there's not many places in the country that looks like this now following flooding. I don't know if you can see as well behind me all these lumps of clay that's now dotted across this field, and that's the clay that's come out of the riverbank that's blown across this field. I mean, they're as big as fridge freezers. We've got to deal with all that, but huge financial implications of this. I mean, you have to look at it, that should be growing a crop, we should be harvesting that in a few months time. But what we are going to do here short term is, this is all in SFI now for winter bird food. Hopefully we'll be able to get that in June, July time once it dries out, but it's going to break my heart to put it in, to be honest, because this is the best land I farm anywhere. Grow potatoes, anything, and we're going to be putting it in with winter bird food instead of producing food. I feel like we're giving up on it, but we've got to be pragmatic, I suppose. But it more comes down to what we do in the future. It's all starting to get a bit quiet with the Environment Agency and government and everything at the minute, and we need to try and raise the profile again. We've got to get on this now, because I'm going to be back. This will be full of water again. There's a mile of riverbank here that's absolutely knackered. It's eroded. It's knackered. It's going to blow again next time we have an overtopping event. So just walking along here, let me just come down this riverbank now. It's you'll see what I mean. It's not going to stand any overtopping. It's just going to blow again. And if we don't do something now, and I'm for thinking a bit differently, we could set up a flood storage scheme here, you know, rather than spending millions repairing the bank, work with the EA. We can store water here, be a public good, but we've got to be paid for it. Or we start maintaining these river channels properly, or ideally a combination of both those options. But yeah, so that's what's happening on the ground. It is drying up, but it's bloody depressing coming down here, to be honest, because that was all looking amazing in early October, all up with wheat. Yeah, and I've now got to just wait another month, let it dry, and we'll get this winter bird food established. But yeah, anyway, speak to you soon.
So when I saw that video from Henry, I did text him and say when I get back, I'm going to be get back on the case and go and try and have a word with a few people, because I think we don't want to let this slip now. We can't let this slip like it did in 2019, and you can't just put land out of production and put it into a flood relief scheme without first exploring all the other options. The flood relief scheme has to be the last resort. Anyway, thanks Henry for sending that through. We're just getting a seeder fitted to this Guttler Supermax harrow, because we're going to put some cover crop seed in to dry out the land that we haven't got any crops planted. We're going to put some mustard in, I thought, and then this will be an ideal tool to try it in, and then get it worked in. So that's the bar with the spreading plates on. One this side is fitted. You can just see there. So you'll have some pipes come out of here. Those two pipes are joined together. The other one that side. They come up to a Y junction up here. Got walkway on the back, a little ladder, and the lights as well. In the workshop with the Solo, got quite a lot of repairs to do to the Solo. But one repair we've done is, or Ian's in the middle of doing, is putting a new scraper rail on here. That's because Tom caught it and on the press, and it bent the back scraper rail, so we're just having to just put a new bar on here. And they're the original brackets Ian's managed to straighten out, but of course that's how a scraper fits on it, like that, to scrape the discs. So you've got to be careful and make sure these are in the right place, otherwise you won't be able to get these U-clamps on. But that's what it's like, that side. You can see there's a scraper that goes in between each disc. So Ian's just making sure that's right there, which is great. And then a few other jobs we need to do, and it was starting to have oil pipes go on it. So we're going to completely re-pipe the whole machine. You can see these pipes are starting to corrode. You can see here starting to get cracks in, starting to corrode now with the weather and everything. And so we're going to strip all the pipes off, get a mobile van here to do pipe repairs, and we'll get it stripped down. And another thing is, Ian's just spotted these bushes are worn in here. There's a lot of play. If you watch when I lift this leg up, lift that leg up there, and you can see here a lot of play in there, and the same in there at the top of the ram, and also down there at the bottom of the ram. So you have a bush top and bottom there, so you have two bushes in that arm, two bushes at the top of the ram, two bushes at that end of the ram, and there's 6 bushes in every leg, and there's 6 legs on the machine. Then also we're going to re-disc the machine. You can see how the discs are worn here, so the cutting action isn't as good when it's hard. This is what the discs are like there when they're better. You can see how much more cutaway they've got, but the back discs never wear as much as the front, because it's the front that takes all the hammer, because these front ones are the ones that's going into solid ground. So that's why they wear more. You can see when you look down there. But so the soil's already been moved when the back ones get to it. That's why they don't wear. So generally you say 2 sets of discs on the front to 1 on the back. And we're going to be using this a lot this year. I've got Jim Egan here. Some of you recognise Jim. You were very complimentary about that 6-minute chat I had with Jim on the edge of our lanes a few weeks ago. Remember that, Jim? Was it 6 weeks ago?
About 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago, talking about the benefits of SFI and what to be careful of. Well, we've gone into SFI with various things, and Jim's just come to show us, with the discussions we've had over the last few weeks, how he's entered us and what we've gone in for. So I'll just show you 1 or 2 things on the screen, because it's really fascinating what Jim's done. So Jim, we've got a map on the screen. What is this?
So what I've done is I've taken all the information you gave me about your hedgerows around the farm.
Yeah.
I've measured them all on our environment manager map, and I've actually mapped them and marked them. So you can see here we've got Squires 2, so that's Squires' second hedgerow.
Yeah.
And Squires 1 on the other side, and there's a line for the side of the hedge you manage. Basically, I've created a record for you of what hedgerows you've entered into the scheme, because when you enter into SFI, it's always worth remembering you don't get a map.
Right.
Any of your options.
Yeah.
So all this is done is confirmed your measurements.
Yeah.
And given us a hedgerow map that you can use for your evidence once we've finally pressed.
And then we have to go out and do a report on that hedge.
And within this system, we can take your phone out and we can take a picture.
Yeah.
Which will record the condition.
Yeah.
And then we can just make some notes about the other things, so it helps you with your hedgerow assessment plan.
So this is it now with the pipes on. Back to the hopper. And then you can just see there, the gap. The seed will come out there and spread on the floor. And then these back harrows will just gently rake it in very shallow and cover the seed. So looking from this side, pipes will come down here into this sort of T-junction splitter, and then seed splits. Half goes that outlet, half goes to that outlet. So Jim's finished what we're going to do. We've just done, we've done the countryside stewardship application, which needs to be in by tomorrow. Just looking at my notes here, what we're doing, we haven't done now, are the ones where the money crops are, sort of thing, aren't they? These are the money options. Right. So cover crops,
your legume fallows, companion cropping, no insecticide. But basically what we've done, you've got a really good, nice standard SFI application in, which will cover all your management plans, cover all your hedgerow management. It's going to generate you around about £5,000 a year for admin type stuff. And you've got to think with your management plans, but that'll be really good. And the next time when we do this, if we get it how we want it to be, you'll have a 1st of September start date. So every year you'll know what you're going to be doing and what you're committing to, and it's at the right time of the farming calendar for you. So that'll work. And the countryside stewardship claim is just a bonus.
And the reason, thanks Jim, and the reason we haven't done all these sort of the cover crops and fallows and companion cropping now is because it can affect big time what we do next year, and we don't want to put the wrong options in now. So doing it like we're going to do just before harvest is when we're deciding on the cropping for the next year, and it'll just seem more logical to follow, to go into the cropping and decide on it while we're deciding the cropping.
And it gives you the flexibility that on the agreement anniversary you can change it as you need to at the right time when you made the decision.
Rather than making decisions in the winter previously or in the spring and then regret them. Brilliant. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, no worries, thanks.
So people carry, where's this going to? Waitrose.
Down in Hampshire.
Have you changed the design of it?
Slightly. All seat belts and everything now, all cushion seats.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming today. I really do appreciate your time. I know that lots of you have been really busy with events going on over the last few weeks. I think we've even got another one next week as well to all go to. And I know some of you have travelled a long way. We're confident there is not a standing issue with the variety.
Its name is after Joe Marler, the rugby player who spent most of his career at Harlequins. The logo represents the Jester's hat. Based on 2 years, a variety has been in trial, how it would look if it was trialled over the last 4.
We've gone through our spring portfolio and we're now moving on to our winter, and we're bringing to you today Aretha Winter Barley UKNL. We have a range of spring Triscales, a range of spelts, even including a spring spelt, which is the only one in Europe. We have an E-quality winter wheat. We have a range of naked oats also. In terms of a pipeline, we've got strong material coming through. We've got new spring oats, spring wheats. We even have a spring rye coming through, winter barley. And actually, most excitingly for us as a company, we have 2 winter wheats now in NL1. And actually, these varieties in private trial were showing yields above our current Group 4s, but both claiming milling quality. So we wanted to demonstrate that we have varieties worth backing. We have a growing portfolio of excellent varieties, including the highest yielding spring oat, the highest yielding spring wheat, and now Marler, the highest yielding feed pea candidate, and Aretha, the winter barley, that is absolutely unique and up for recommendation this year.
We're now outside and at the karting centre going to have a go-karting. I do come here probably once or twice a year, and the farmers who own this are good friends of mine. I've known them a long while, so we'll go out and have a bit of fun on here and just see what we can do. Great conditions, hot, dry, perfect conditions for karting.
This is race 1. Danny, Lee, Jordan, Andrew Ward, Matthew, Jen, George, Andrew, Dewey, Peter Collins.
Right, that's it, ready to go now and in the first race, and we'll see how we do. We've been given different carts apparently, which I had a good one I think first time. These are the carts we're in. They run on LPG. Great circuit. Now I've finished racing. You can't beat a Pimm's. We're allowed to drink now.
No, you can't.
Look at that. What have you got there?
Cheesy pig. I've come afraid.
So I've got Richard Johnson here. Richard runs the circuit. He owns the circuit. Is it family owned? Is it?
It is indeed. Yes. Yep.
And how long have you been running it now?
Since the business started in 1990, and I've been running it since about 2005.
And you and I have known each other years. A long, long while. Unfortunately for you, I apologise for that.
Not at all.
And besides karting, you've got paintballing, you've got 10-pin bowling.
Paintballing, 10-pin bowling, airsoft, laser tag, archery. So yeah,
everything. And your circuit, how many metres? Who? Me?
Hold on a minute, we're doing a video.
Yeah, but it's important. How many metres is the circuit?
It's 1,200 metres.
Yeah.
We've got 6 different configurations, and we predominantly run 2 circuits. But today we're on a 3/4 track, just an ideal size for
and
the group.
Corporate compared to sort of public turn up, do you do just arrive and drive?
Corporate, arrive and drive, lots of stag events, birthdays, any occasion.
So if anybody wants to come here, you can make a day here. There's so much to do. Get in touch. Richard, what's the contact details, phone number?
It's on the website www.ancasterleisure.co.uk. Or email myself, Richard at Ancaster Leisure.
I'll put the link in the description of the video. Richard, you better, you need it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Great. So you can see there, great facility here. So if anybody wants to come here, corporate, individuals, parties, as you said, stags, it's a brilliant facility. And it's at Ancaster, which is between, that's about 6-7 miles out of Grantham. And from me at Leadenham, it's probably again about 7 or 8 miles from Leadenham, so 15 minutes from me. Great facility. So if you want to come here, these are the details below, and it's in the video description. So prize giving now.
Despite them being sat down, so. Right, come on in, and then we'll start off with Group 1. We did the reverse grid for the second race, which is the one we're going to do the trophies on. And then in 5th/4th place was Mr. Ward. So, in 3rd place, come and take your step on the podium. One of the trophies is there for...
So that's it for this Sunday's update. Back to normal next week, where we're back on the farm at home and hopefully getting some of these capulet beans in. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at the end.